What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Garage.
Hope you're all doing excellent.
We're taking it really old school, like all the way back to the beginning of the channel. She's a little dusty right now because the people on the other side of the house where we park a lot of the cars is building a pool. And so just all that dust and stuff just from digging has kind of made our cars all dusty. But today with this old girl, actually new girl, or newest girl, okay, the oldest car that I've owned.
Car that you've owned for the longest.
Yes, that
is the newest model car.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go with that one. Needs new brakes. Now we got another package from R1 Concepts over here with all new rotors and all new pads, because this car is in need of new rotors here and new pads, and it does need to have the brake split as well because the brake pedal went spongy. So in normal fashion, Thomas is already cracking.
Jeff style. Switch these back. Get the Ugga Dugga machine.
Always. So now Thomas sees why the brakes need to be changed. I didn't really notice it until like the emergency brake light comes on the dash. And what that means is when it flashes, like under heavy braking, that the reservoir is running low on brake fluid. So then I was like, oh crap, that means I need new brakes. So I topped off the brake fluid reservoir, and then when I was looking to see how much life I had left, you can see how worn down the slots are also on the rotor. Like
it's taken off as much of the rotor as the brake pad. Like this is completely smooth right here.
Yeah, it's funny because now looking at the brake pad, I still probably have around like 40% left on the pad. But we'll just change it all out anyway, fresh everything. Plus because that was worn down so much, I do believe, because we do live in a kind of a hilly area with a lot of steep hills, that when the nose was down, I do believe it sucked in some air while the reservoir was a little low on brake fluid and created the spongy feeling in the pedal. So we're just gonna have a good time on all four corners.
Yeah. Time to get the PB blaster on all these bolts. Every time I go to the Harbor Freight, I buy more utility knives, but we always end up using something that's not suitable for cutting to open boxes.
Like the tool to loosen the locking nut on a angle grinder?
Yes, exactly.
Look at the bubble wrap.
This box is 64 pounds of new hardware.
Yeah, it's really deceiving. All right, so this is obviously brake pads.
What kind you go for, it doesn't say. Low metallic, so street driving.
Yep, street driving pads, because this is my daily driver. Fronts, this is obviously...
Those are big. The brake calipers on this are humongous. They're awesome. Wonder if they have some sort of swap where you can get those big boys on FCs and FDs.
Well, but I wouldn't, just because they're one piston.
They're only one piston?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it just uses a thick pad.
The big boy, and it pressures everything.
Interesting.
Right here. Yeah, the first time we did brakes on this car, back when I first got it and upgraded to these rotors and everything, I was literally surprised at how big the brakes are. And the mechanic that helped at Dad's dealership was like, holy crap, these are big brakes for this car.
Well, the car's pretty heavy. It's a beast.
It's 3,000 pounds.
No, it's not as big as I thought.
Yeah, it's like 3,000 and like 20 pounds. It's lighter than the Z.
Interesting.
I don't know where we're gonna do this box. I just did it like that. Alright, so you just pull some sides.
Cool, so not drilled, just slotted?
Yeah, I just got, because when I ordered these, I didn't know I ordered this, the drill. I thought it just got slotted.
So what brand are these ones we're replacing?
StopTex.
These look really nice. These R1 Concepts.
Yeah.
We've now put, this will be the third car we've put our own concepts on, and I've been really impressed with their stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, the FD's brakes are amazing.
Yeah.
And
once we've bled it for the 700th time, the FC's brakes are amazing.
Now the only car that I have that's not running is the Z, which is running the Concept Z Performance big brake package, stock, you know, stock caliper and everything, but big brake package. So we're gonna start on the back here because the back is always the most difficult. And what we actually need to do first with these is we can loosen up the slider pins back here. Now they are we'd assume pretty much a size 7 Allen key. And once you remove these out, you can take this off and then get the brake pads out. Because one thing that is annoying on these rotors, because they are so worn down, is there's this lip here. So if you just unbolt the whole caliper and try to take it off, the brake pads will get caught on this lip. And that's one thing to look out for when you have brakes, obviously, is that lip there will cause a lot of problems, because people don't realize that the brake pads are still pretty much the entire time still making contact with the brake rotor. They're just not squeezing it. And so that can cause an issue. So doing that, we're able just to slip off the top of here, the actual piston assembly, and the brake pads kind of stay in place so they don't get caught. And then after that, you can remove the actual mounting bracket and then replace the rotor. So we're doing that right now.
Hey, how did it get such an extreme lip on it?
Well, it got, okay, so we'll just break it down that I believed that claim that it has a lifetime warranty, but you know, when you actually think about it, they just mean the lifetime of the rotor, not like the lifetime of the car.
Or you.
Or you, yeah. So I mean, like literally that lifetime warranty means like probably the life of what, 2 brake changes essentially. And
how you're driving. And you do what with this car? How much city driving?
A lot of city driving. So I need to remember now that every probably 2 brake pad changes to change the rotors, because these are worn down so much there's no resurfacing them. But also I also don't want the drilled anymore either, because like I said, when I ordered these off the StopTech website, I selected just the slotted, but drilled and slotted came, but I didn't really fuss about it.
We'll see how the R1 concepts last compared to these two, and because the rotors are so messed up, sorry to say it, but the brake pads, even though there's plenty of life on them, have this matching grooves. So
yeah, they're not flat.
Usable.
Yeah, I mean, we're changing those out obviously as well. But yeah, we need to pry it out again. So I'll go over here because I know we got a pry bar. Whoops. And we will bend it like Beckham. Can you?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, that clip is still in. That'd be why. Take out the clip. Let me grab a screwdriver for you.
There we go.
All right.
It still needs to be pried.
Yeah, it still needs to be pried, but it won't bounce back.
Yeah, it's going sideways.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yep. There she is.
Nope.
We can pry a little more right here. Get this off. There we go.
There we go. All right. Good stuff.
All right. So as you guys can see right here, yeah, it's not. Yeah, these are actually a little bit worn down more than the driver's side was, but there's still technically life in them. but see how that just cracked apart? Like, and these pads have honestly been in the car for about 5 or 6 years, so.
I mean, it's not a big loss.
No, not at all.
Lots of mileage out of things. We're not saying like that you got 50,000 miles out of these things. You got a lot of miles.
Oh no, these rotors here, I would say probably have about 60,000 miles on them.
Okay, that's not bad. And then we're going to be using this toolie bob right here to compress the rear calipers. It's really nice because it comes with a bunch of these different fittings that made up to the piston in there, and they actually rotate it, because there's rear ones on Mazdas and a lot of other vehicles, you actually have to rotate it
as it pushes
to
in
push
the piston,
it in.
yeah.
So that's a nifty tool, and then when you see later in the video, we're going to be bleeding the brakes with the nifty tool, and both of those will be listed and linked in the description below. Because if you're going to end up doing this, like we have technically 4 project cars now, and we end up doing a lot of brake stuff. So if you've got multiple project cars, or you even work on your friends' cars, highly recommend picking up some of these tools. Both of them combined are gonna be less than $100, and they're gonna save you so much time.
And money, technically, doing the job yourself.
Yep.
So obviously, as you guys see, once those 2 bolts that are in the back of that right there are removed, this bracket just comes right out. And then this rotor looks a little bit seized on compared to the other side, but
It's loose. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, either way,
I'm just holding it. Yeah.
we have Mjolnir right there too to give her a good little smack.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Something just flew all the way over to the other side.
That was the cap for the slide.
The dust cap. Okay, well we got extras in case. Oh, so, but we have extras. Then
Boom.
off with the old, and then just for comparison, so you guys can see here.
See that, and there is a difference already, because this is beveled up. It's higher than this lip, but the main difference is
the deepest part where the most contact is, the contact patch.
You can see how this one does not have these borders. So that shows you an idea of what's going on there. Change your rotors, kids. Don't cheap out and just get brake pads.
Change your rotors when you need to. This was about probably months
if you're
too late.
driving a 1990s JDM car, which is most of the viewership for our channel, change your rotors.
So to obviously reassemble, just reverse the process. And yep, rears are almost done.
So that matches up to those holes there, if you can see. You find the right one. This is an M, probably for Mazda. If I had to guess, actually might have nothing to do with that.
Just irony.
Just coincidence. All the way down.
The M fell and rolled. Where'd it roll to?
All the way underneath your muffler in the middle.
Oh, geez. Baby.
Maybe it's M for more garage.
M for more trouble than it's worth. The funny thing is, we actually have 4 Mazdas.
Yeah, we do. I wonder why we like them so much. Oh. Okay, good.
Well, I mean, to me, the Speed 3 is kind of a no-brainer car. The performance, the price range.
Yep. Sleeper status.
I think it was probably,
Don't bother you. Cops don't bother you.
yeah, I think this is probably the best, like, all-around car.
Oh, this is going good. The bleeder's not even cracked on this side.
Oh shoot, I should check that reservoir then. Okay, now we're good at the reservoir. It's not overflowing.
Good.
Went up a little bit, not much though. Okay, so I also need to grab a. Then always make sure once you reassemble everything that you spray it all off, get all the dirt and grime and finger grease off there. That obviously we're wearing gloves, but just in case, clean it all up. Backside. And we're off to the races on the front side already here.
Yep. Just gonna undo 2 17s on the back side of this honkin' caliper.
Yeah, she a thick girl.
Yeah. Can you bring me the jack stand to hold it up?
Mm-hmm. The 2 bolts off, we're able to move the big hunky caliper right off to the side, exposing the brake rotor. Just go ahead, by the power of Thor.
He who holds this hammer is worthy of Thor or something.
Off she comes.
Off she comes.
And it's right behind you in the back still. Look at that. It still is really funny how big the brakes are on this car.
Yeah, and this one honking piston up front here. It's so weird. But whatever. Whatever works, I suppose. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna get the brake pads out. This is kind of tricky.
Now we can take that off right here to make more room.
Yeah, good idea. So, there's this really complicated pin, which is this piece here.
Here, let me get over. Okay, so yeah, this little aluminum clip here, and as you can see, it has this huge tab that's sticking off the top, and that's actually going in
up
here.
in here.
For example, this is that brake pad. Oh, it goes like
No, you got it right.
yeah, and it needs to go in that square right there, which is actually far back.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to remove it, you really kind of need to pry down towards the center and get that unhooked.
Yeah, it's... Wait.
And then, yeah, once you get unhooked, the whole thing just comes out. So it's not a real big deal. And then from there, remove the front.
The outer caliper first, or pad.
And she just slides right out. Because she also has the shorter clips, if you look. If you try to remove the inner one first, you see how long that one is? And it won't allow it to move because there's not enough room.
And the inner one pops out. And now we compress this piston. How'd you get spider webs in here? That's interesting.
How they are still alive, not burnt up too.
Uh-huh.
So when we compressed it, what we did here is that this whole slider comes out.
Well, yeah. So let me get the thingy undone here real quick. Need to get my wrench.
It's over here.
You got it? You got the 10?
No, it's over here on the rear. Since you're already up on this side.
It's here. And then we take a piece of this.
So the bleeder valve is a 10mm wrench, the infamous Japanese 10.
Crack that open. Take this out. The last time I was able to do it by hand, let's see.
Yep.
There we go. Easy as that.
All right, close the bleeder valve, and then you're ready for reassembly. So this goes in first.
Oh my gosh, you stepped on the lube.
Oh no! 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 I stepped on the end of it. Well, the slider pins have enough lube.
Yep. Jeez.
Oops.
Come on. Okay. Okay, that should be enough. Then reverse order. Inside pad first. Lubed up.
It's upside down, yeah.
Yeah, that was upside down. One.
And a 2.
Two.
And then the new
clipper do.
Yeah, the new retaining clip. And this one is easier with 2 people, we found out.
I'm gonna try and do it. Oh yeah, because we have to.
So one way you can do it, let me just get a little closer here because I need to help him with this, is he can get these 2 things in place, the 2 ends.
Ooh.
And once
Okay.
the 2 ends are in place here, what he can do now is he takes the screwdriver and puts it up against that tab. And once he's holding it, get someone here to help you with the hammer, and then you can just smack it into the place. So
Almost. Go again. Again.
boom,
There it is.
she's in place. And
That's the easiest way we found.
yeah, I mean, you can manipulate it and try it yourself. Obviously, you know, hit down here or whatever you want, but we just found that to be the most direct and easy. And now she's ready for reassembly. But first, let's get the rotor back on.
Oh yeah, we'll need the rotor.
Nope. You thought you had brakes.
Slip the rotor on there.
Alrighty.
Make sure these are set in there.
They seem pretty happy.
Not liking something here.
Oh, it doesn't seem like that rear one's in all the
No,
way.
it's not.
There it is.
There we go.
Alrighty. And then just reinstall the 17mm bolts into the rear. And then we get to do the bleeding.
Come on, headlamp.
So we're almost done reattaching it, and we did close the valve, right? The bleeder valve?
It's just dripping because we've got a bunch in there. Spray
All right.
a bunch of brake fluid.
And once Thomas is done there, it seems like this is a long bolt.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Always make sure you torque your bolts down all the way. And if you have any questions about what torque spec to do it to, always consult the factory service manual.
Mm-hmm.
And now, let's
Okay.
some moves here. Just spray this all down again. Sure, remove any residue, anything like that. And also some brake fluid spray back there. Make sure all the components are clean and clear of brake fluid because it's very caustic stuff. Just spray the ground, break it up a little bit. All right, so that is all clean now. Now on to the bleeder.
Yes, so let's put everything away.
Yep, we'll clean up all the mess we've done so far. And we'll be right back after these short messages from howtocleanyourgarage.com.
How's your reservoir look?
Pretty empty right now.
Okay, so we prime this apparatus. Make sure that there's nothing but fluid. We attach it to the bleeder. Crack said bleeder open.
I think you're tightening.
Yes, I sure am.
Okay, all right, and then we can come up here as he's squeezing that and injecting. We keep an eye on the reservoir up here. Let me get some light on this reservoir real quick.
You should be seeing something. You got a good eye on it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay. See something?
Not yet. It's right where there's like a seam, and I'm not sure.
Are you looking down inside the reservoir?
Well, you can't see inside the reservoir. It's actually a plastic guard here. It's a little tiny hole. Oh, okay, it's coming up. It just passed this plastic seam, you know, which makes it thick.
Okay.
I see it now coming up.
Okay, so that should be good to go. I'll move to the other side.
So in typical More Garage fashion, nothing ever works the first time or the second time. So as you saw, we used the brake bleeder to try and bleed the brakes because there is some air in the lines. And it was the reverse feeder that pumped it back into, hood's already popped, back into the master cylinder. But that didn't work, and I went around the block and the pedal literally just went right to the floor. So we didn't have, or there's still air in the system. I'm not sure if we just didn't do it enough, and it, instead of where it was, pushed it up but not all the way. So then we came back, jacked it back up, and then did it the other way, you know, manually, where we cracked the bleeder and pumped the brakes and cracked the bleeder and pumped the brakes. And while air did come out, not all of it came out. And so the pedal does feel better now that the brakes have been properly bedded and been used and heated up. But we're tired of this because it's happened on the FC many a times, as he can attest to.
Yep.
And we're just like, you know what, screw it. Let's spend the money to get a vacuum bleeder. So Thomas went ahead on Amazon and purchased 4 uncles.
A pneumatic vacuum cleaner. Or vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum, yes.
Vacuum bleeder. So this should be the real deal. So hopefully this helps us get it, because we're going to end up doing brakes so many more times, and each time is such a pain. And I think what happened the first time is that we pushed the fluid this way, and there was maybe some air in there. We didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
And then we pushed it the other way.
It right back.
We didn't do it enough. So this one is made to just zip it out, and also like this will allow us, once we've played with it and know how to use it, like I can do it by myself, Jeff can do it by himself, so that we can keep progress moving on all of our projects when we have to do something with the brakes.
Which is every project.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an array of goodies, and that right there looks to be a tank that you put onto your brake fluid reservoir. to completely keep on gravity feeding in case you're doing it by yourself.
Yep. We are gonna put it on there though, just to try it.
Yeah, why not? That's what we're here for. Put all that .3 goodness.
Yeah, if this works well, I'm gonna re-bleed the brakes on the FC as well, just to practice it. And then the other thing is, Jeff and I were talking, like, we're always hesitant to get really good brake fluid because we always feel like we're sure we're gonna be doing the job again or something. But if this works and we get it on the first try, then I'm happy to put Motul or something high end in there so that when we do events and stuff, we can have really high boiling point brake fluid. So this is what we should have done a long time ago, because all the money and time we spent on bleeding brakes over and over again, if this thing works, then it's just should have been done a long time ago.
Got this automatic feeder right here that has a petcock on it, and also once it fills so far it stops, so you never actually have to manually come up here and turn it off and turn it on. It just feeds itself through gravity as it goes down. And let's see, we'll start on the farthest away from the brake master, which is back here. Look at them brand new brakes.
Let's make them work right. Okay, I need the airline.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
Let's see here.
Feel any suction?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I feel it. Sweet. So let's see how quickly it goes through.
Okay, here we go. That's on there.
Oh, here it comes.
Yep. Make sure I got it open enough. Got a good seal on it. Close, open.
So despite that, this little machine, what's essentially happening is right here, it's sucking air in. So we can't tell when there's no air bubbles when using this machine. Yeah, it pulls fluid and it has pulled a lot. Like we've gone through a full container and went all the way around, but because we didn't have that giving us, like telling us, you know, when to stop, besides the fact that it was pulling clear fluid, we decided just to turn the car on with the brake booster running and feed it the old-fashioned way, and hopefully that'll do her.
Yeah, hopefully your ride test will tell us if we finally got it, and then you can find out how much better it is finally with these new pads and rotors.
That. So the brakes do feel better having new brakes and rotors all around, all four corners always is a good idea. Unfortunately, I did go just a little too long with those old ones, not saying that they were completely within danger zone, but they were to the point where you couldn't resurface them, and at that point it is time to get new rotors And while you're doing new rotors, you might as well get new pads. The brake feel is better. So as long as you feel comfortable braking, that is all that really counts. Please don't neglect your brakes. And now we're gonna do more welding for the other video we're shooting at the same time. So we'll catch you in that video when that video goes up. Peace.